What scares me is when girls cheat, they will trick their own minds into some reason why it's not cheating.
You are afraid that you're gonna be cheated on. That's why you're afraid of commitment. No dating apps. I'm like 100% against dating apps because on my 20s, I was just like working, saving money, and like living a married life. You know when people say like maybe it was the right person, just wrong timing? I know you're gonna come home, you're gonna f me, not them, you know? Like I don't care. Confidence is the most attractive characteristic that someone can wear.
Guys are most attracted to feminine energy. And you can be confident and feminine. But the femininity is what attracts somebody to you. The confidence is what makes people respect you. There's a difference.
I love to confuse people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course you do. Red flag.
I love that.
The flag is red. Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Zach Evans. And first of all, thank you to all of our listeners. We have been getting a ton of growth over the last few weeks. So we got to thank you guys for that. Today, we got a special guest on the show. This is Gabi. Gabi, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience? Name, what you do, and your star sign.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Instagram. My name is Gabi. I'm 29 years old, and I work with Instagram, and my horoscope sign is Virgo. And apparently, this is going to be a long
episode. I have a few intimate experiences with Virgos. They're always very fun, but they never end well.
Oh, no?
You guys are bad for my mental health, yeah.
Why?
But I can bill you for the therapy later. It's all good.
But why is that?
Toxic, I think is the right word for it.
Okay, give me, build on that for me.
I've only had a drink thrown in my face twice in my life. Both the times were from Virgos. One of them was my fault. The other one was completely her fault.
I think build on the toxic part.
Okay, so first time I got a drink thrown at me, right? So I used to be a very toxic individual. I'm like a recovering fuckboy, right? So back in the day in my villain era, when I used to be a fuckboy, I was seeing this girl, and I was always like a very honest fuckboy. I would tell girls, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship. I don't want to be exclusive, right? And we start hanging out a lot, maybe like 3-4 times a week. And so she starts saying, Zach, you never get me flowers. You never take me on dates. You never do romantic things for me. So I'm like, okay, she's been nice to me, right? So I go to this website, and it's this sketchy website where they send the flowers directly to their doorstep so they get surprised by it, right? And I'm about to check out when all of a sudden on the website, ping, this little pop-up comes up, and it's like, wait, before you check out, buy one, get one half off. So I don't want to waste a discount. So I get 2 flowers. I send one to the girl, and then I send one to this other girl that I'm seeing. So in my mind, girls like flowers, right? I'm spreading more flowers. I'm spreading more joy throughout the universe. If anything, I consider myself someone a philanthropist at this point, right? So the next day, everything's good. Both of the girls are happy. The universe is in perfect balance. But then I'm driving home, and I just got my new BMW, so I didn't know like how it worked, right? And it has this feature where it Bluetooths your entire phone to the screen of the car, not just the music, but like everything on your phone. So we're just driving, and all of a sudden it's like, boop, new message from girl number 2. And girl number 1 is like, who the fuck is this bitch, right?
I'm dead.
So obviously I'm like trying to gaslight her because I used to be a fuckboy. So I'm gaslighting her. I'm telling her it's just a friend, blah, 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 blah. And so, but then she's suspicious. And you know, girls like, you guys, do you know Sherlock Holmes? Mm-hmm. You guys are like Sherlock Holmes when you find the clues. You guys can like go into the dark web and fucking pull up your mom's maiden name and the guy's social security, all this shit. So I'm dead asleep, 4 a.m. All of a sudden I wake up to this cold water splashing on my face. And I look up and she's towering over me. And she's like, you fucked this girl. You bought her flowers too, all this stuff. And I look and she has my phone, and she had hacked into my phone, and she's like reading my texts. And
okay, first of all, like how, like, I'm sorry to interrupt. Like, how did she like getting to your phone?
So one time we were driving and she's like, oh, can I play some music? And I didn't feel like figuring out how to like do, you know, the Bluetooth that's annoying. I have to like set up her phone in my car. She's like, oh, here's the password.
She got your
password. So, which is my fault, to be fair. Like I should have never given.
Girls are smart.
Yeah. So, and then she blocked me, blocked all my friends, never talked to me again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the toxic Virgo.
That was the first one. Okay. I'll tell you about the second one in a bit.
Well, first of all, I get your point about like spreading love and flowers into the world. But like, let me ask you something. What is up with like this? What's the issue with the world nowadays with like commitment issues?
I'll tell you.
But, okay, please do, because I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. And then after you do, I'm gonna tell you like why I'm asking.
Okay.
Because it's perfect. Like this is like something that is coming up to my mind lately. I cannot understand.
So I don't have commitment issues, even though everybody says I do. But I have commitment concerns. Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
sounds the same.
If you got a brand new Lamborghini, right? You won the lottery. Brand new bright pink Lamborghini, just your favorite car, whatever. And your friend was having her birthday party in downtown LA. And you're like, oh shit, downtown LA. So you go to this random bar downtown LA and there's a parking spot right outside the bar. And you could park there and you're like, this is perfect. But when you look out the window, you see this homeless guys fighting the air. You see two drunk dudes throwing bottles on the ground, right? You're thinking, I don't want to park here because my car might get fucked up. So you go park in a parking garage 2 blocks away. Now, would you say you have parking issues or would you say you have parking concerns? You have parking concerns. So I have, and the reason I have concerns about commitment is, okay, when a guy cheats, don't get me wrong, like he's an asshole, right? And he will lie about it and he will try to pretend, tell you different lies and try to hide it from you and everything, right? What scares me is when girls cheat, they will trick their own minds into some reason why it's not cheating. Like they will say, yeah, I mean, I hooked up with this guy, but I wasn't even in love with him. Or I was going to break up with my boyfriend soon. Or Mercury is in retrograde and it's a full moon tonight. And on full moons, it doesn't count as cheating. So I'm like, if you can trick yourself into thinking that it's not cheating, how am I supposed to believe you?
Okay, so you are afraid that you're going to be cheated on. That's why you're afraid of commitment?
That's part of it, yes. I'm no longer, this is in my fuckboy era. Yeah, now I'm very shy and romantic and very committed person. But back in the day, yeah, that's why, yeah.
Okay. So no, I'm just trying to like understand guys' mind nowadays.
Yeah.
Because like the reason why I'm asking is I was married for like 8 years, okay? Married not, but like I was with someone for 8 years, married for like almost 4. He was my first boyfriend, never had dated anyone before that. Wow. And then we've been apart for like almost 2 years now. And since I moved to LA, I've been like facing a lot of, how do I say that? Like I've been encountering like a lot of people with like commitment issues. And I'm like, what is wrong with the world nowadays? You know, like, is everybody scared of like getting attached with like another human being, or like what is going on?
So I'll tell you how the marketplace is working in LA. So
is it just LA?
It's LA, Miami, probably New York, the big cities. If you go to like small town America, probably less so. But I think it's kind of everywhere. The problem is girls have so much access to guys nowadays, right? So for example, I'm sure in your DMs you get probably guys all the time, sugar daddies, guys sliding in, guys hitting you up, want to date you. If you're on any dating apps, you for sure get like 1,000 guys.
That's another thing I don't understand. Like I've never had, okay, so before, like on my 18th, between my 18th and like 20th, before I dated my ex-husband,
Mm-hmm.
I had like I was on Tinder, but that was it. After, I never downloaded any dating apps. Like,
Good for
what
you.
what it's fun about that? Like there is no human interaction. Like, go out, like talk to people face to face. Like,
I agree with you.
no dating apps. I'm like 100% against dating apps. But continue.
I got off of all dating apps probably like 5 or 6 years ago for a
Like,
couple of reasons. Number one, the problem with dating apps is, yeah, like let's say you go on a date with somebody, right? They have so many other options. In fact, when you go to the bathroom on the date, 90% of the time they're probably on their phone on fucking Hinge, Raya, fucking all these apps and talking to other dudes on the same date. It's
Yeah.
probably happening.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's like crazy, like you don't really know who's behind that, like, screen, So like, no, I am like 100% against like dating apps. But you were saying something before that.
Yeah, yeah. So essentially what happens then, since girls have so many options, girls are also very flaky. And I don't know how you are. You actually showed up on time. You actually showed up early, which is like probably like one in every like 30 people we have on. It's very rare. So as a guy, when you're texting a girl, so many times she will just, oh, I'm down for a date on Thursday, and then just not text you back, or like, and then you see on her Instagram she's at a party because this celebrity's there or this TikToker is there or whatever the fuck, right? So as a guy, the only way you're going to be able to date girls is you have to talk to a bunch at the same time. Because if you're talking to one, it's like it takes so long to even get to the relationship point because they flake constantly, and then they say they're down, and then they show up, but then they got to leave because there's a party and blah, 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 blah. So we're forced into texting all these girls. But then what happens to guys is you're texting all these girls. So if you get one girl, you're like, man, but I already invested a lot in these other girls too, so I want to see where these things go.
See, this is so wrong.
I mean, it is, but I agree with you. It's a very toxic mindset.
The world is like upside down right now.
It is. I think it's going to get worse too. You know what's crazy too? The level of catfish that's available nowadays. Do you know what catfish means? It's like when their pictures don't look like them in real life.
Oh, okay.
Like Facetune and AI shit,
yeah.
and like people making themselves like, bumping their stomach in or whatever. That you don't even know what people really look like.
Yeah, exactly. That's another reason why I'm like so against dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is that like really the person? And like the amount of this murder Netflix shows that I've been watching, I'm like, like, what is that? Can you imagine, like, you just meet someone on a dating app and then you go out and then you end up like dead?
Yeah, but that's pretty rare. I think it's more likely you're gonna get. Have you seen the Tinder swindler?
Mm-mm.
It's like this guy who tricks all these girls into thinking he's rich, and then he like gets the girls to send him money.
Oh yes, I watched that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
I remember a lot of people were saying, I can't believe these girls fell for it. And I'm like, I actually can. Because I meet so many girls who fall for fake clout and fake status and people telling them, I'm Drake's manager. And I'm like, that's not Drake's manager. He's lying to you. And girls just believe it every time. I'm like, are you dumb or do you have rocks in your brains?
Yeah.
You have 2 brain cells and one's on vacation. Like, what's going on up there?
Well, that's crazy.
So you meet mainly going out. What's your normal type? Let's do looks first, and then we'll get on to personality later.
Okay, so my friends all tell me that it's like blonde, blue eyes.
We're the best.
Shut up. But I don't really have like one specific type. I feel like I go more with like the energy, you know? Because like my ex-husband, he was like brown hair, brown eyes. I don't know. Like, honestly, lately, I just like been dating like like going
All over
out
the
with like
place.
all all over the place. So it's just like whenever the conversation flows, or
Mm-hmm.
um it happens.
What about height? Does height matter?
No, not really. Again, I feel like it's the energy, is the conversation. It's more about like how they treat me, you
Mm.
know? Um, I feel like because of like what I went through, um, I've been putting myself in like toxic relationships lately. Like, not relationships, because I haven't had like any relationships in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but situationships, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, and I've been questioning myself a lot about that, because I'm like, like, what is going on? I've never been like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah.
And so the guys you get in situationships with, what attracts you to them because they end up being toxic? Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you start like seeing them, for example, do you kind of know that they're toxic, but you're just attracted to them? Or are you like, no, I thought he was like the great guy. He was going to fall in love and, everything. And then you found out over time. Or did you kind of always know?
I feel like it's more like in a sense of, I know it's not gonna work out, so that kind of attracts me to that situationship,
Mm-hmm.
because somehow I am not completely over my ex,
Mm.
because like we still talk.
How long was the breakup ago? You and your
Almost
ex?
2 years.
Okay.
And I just like recently spoke to him.
And he lives in Brazil or he lives here?
He lives in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like not even 3 days ago, we were on the phone for like an hour FaceTiming,
I see.
And then so I feel like I'm still like fighting, like going for situationships where I know it's not gonna work out, because I don't wanna open myself up to like something that will potentially like turn into something um more serious.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, okay, Gabby, like get your shit together.
Yeah. That's understandable. I remember when I was a fuckboy, I was always a very honest fuckboy, like I said. I would tell girls I don't want to be exclusive, blah, blah, blah. Actually, one girl even said, just, I'm a fuckboy. Like, I literally told, but they wouldn't believe me. It was like they always thought I was going to change, or and I'm like, no, I'm like being honest with
But
you.
like that's the thing, like I don't want to be, like I,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want something serious. Like I don't want to be like going around like, fucking everybody, but like I feel like I end up like attracting those people,
Mm-hmm.
because on my like subconscious, like I don't want to.
Put yourself in a position.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So the 8-year relationship, how did that end? Did you break his heart? Did he break your heart?
I was the one who
Oh,
asked for divorce.
that surprises me.
Yeah. It was kind of tough actually, because I still loved him,
Mm-hmm.
but the relationship like per se was becoming a little toxic. So I told him like I think we need some time apart, like to figure things out, uh, to grow as like individuals, and maybe one day like we'll be able to come back together. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't take it very well, because he thought that maybe I just wanted to like go around and have fun and like fuck other people. And I was like, no, that's not the thing. Like, I just think that we need some time apart, because when we got together, like, we were both looking at the same direction. You know what I mean? We wanted the same things. We were like very aligned.
In terms of what?
Everything, like work, career. We like I don't know how to explain, but it's like we were like on a boat and then like
Going the same direction.
Yeah. So we were like working a lot. We were focused on saving money to buy a house, which we did. And then we were not like worried about like partying or anything like that. But at some point, we forgot about the fact that we were like so young and that we also had to have like a life, how do I say that?
Yeah, like to have fun and social life.
Social life. Yeah, we forgot to have like a social life.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we grew apart, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, we need some time apart because we started like hurting each other. And I was just like, I need my time. I need my space.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
Did either of you guys cheat, or was it just
No, nothing.
Interesting?
I feel like that's why we still talk, you know?
Do you feel like there was part of it that it was your first boyfriend, you just never had that experience to go out and party with your friends and have wild times, and oh my God,
Yeah.
what happened last night? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to Brianna? Oh, she ended up
And then,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah, everybody tells me like that I am living now, like almost on my 30s, that I'm living whatever I didn't live like when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like the past year,
Mm-hmm.
I just like went wild, like crazy wild, you know, with partying, drinking, and like literally
Going
living
out.
life. Because on
Yeah.
my 20s, I was just like working, saving money, and like living a married life.
So I'm from Wisconsin. Wisconsin's very conservative. So most of my friends got married either right out of high school or right out of college. Whichever one they did, it's just whoever they're dating at the time, they get married, they have some kids, whatever. And so many of them either already got divorced or they're still in a marriage that you can just tell is not happy. Maybe they won't admit it. Maybe they just complain all the time about it. But you can tell, like, okay, you're not having fun in this marriage. And I do think that there's a lot of truth to when you have that phase where you just have fun, you understand what you want, you understand what you like, what you don't like, and you have experiences. It can change your perspective from the standpoint of, I remember the first girl I dated, we dated 3.5 years. I thought I was in love at that time, right? Looking back, I don't think I was in love. I think it was just the first girl who touched my dick that wasn't my mom changing my diapers. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just like, I didn't know these emotions before. And then I dated another girl and thought I was in love with her too. And then after like 3 or 4, I'm like, wait, I don't think this is love.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, there's probably only one girl that I would consider that I've been in love with, I think.
Well, I do think that I loved him, or maybe I still love him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't come to peace with that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because we were like best friends before we got married.
I see.
And we discovered like so many things together.
Mm-hmm.
We bought a house together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like we accomplished like so much in such a young age. I just feel like everything happened like too fast. And that's something it's not that I regret. It's just like, you know when people say like, maybe it was the right person, just wrong timing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was it, you know? Like we never know. Like I don't know if maybe we'll like meet again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I just told him like when like last time we saw each other that I wish I could have him like forever in my life, even if it was just as friends, because he's always gonna be that person that I feel safe like going to, like talking to, and then like sometimes even more than my parents. That's crazy, but like that's something that I even told him like a couple days ago. Like I was feeling very down, very sad, and very like insecure about a couple things that I'm going through in my life right now. And the only person I could think about was him. So I don't know if I'll ever like have anyone like that in my life again. And that's another thing that I look around here in LA and I'm like, damn, like that's the commitment issue that I see in people. Because I'm like, people are just like so afraid to connect, to give themselves, So
So I'm gonna get back to the commitment issues in a second. But so when you're in the relationship and it started going, I don't want to say going south because it's not like he cheated or anything. But what was like the feeling you had? Was it you guys were fighting all the time? Was it you were just kind of bored? Was it you felt like you were missing out on life? Like what was like the emotion that was going on in your head?
a lot of jealousy and
In terms of you having like male friends?
yeah. So he was like, okay, so it was right after pandemic, and then he works with cybersecurity.
Okay.
And I was doing social media for a restaurant. I was spending like a lot of time at work, and then working with a lot of like influencers, and like I was like in a lot of parties and like going out and stuff. And he was never like a really social person, and I'm like very outgoing and I have like this personality, and he was like the complete opposite of me. And that brought like a lot of insecurity for him, but like I was always inviting him like to do stuff with me, but he didn't like it. It was not
He's
him.
more of an introvert.
Yeah. But so then that started like growing us apart a lot, and he was spending a lot of time at home. He was never like a person of having like a lot of friends, and I was. So he started like becoming like more and more and more jealous, and we started like fighting a lot. And he started like trying to control me a lot, and I was like, this is not gonna happen. So with that, like with the fights, I started looking at it, and I was like, this is going wrong, I was like, we're just destroying all the beautiful things we built to this point. And I don't want that to happen. So this is where like we're gonna stop before we destroy all the beautiful memories we built to now, till now. And then like he went even crazier, because he was like, okay, so you want to like go around, have fun, and like do whatever. And I was like, no, this is not what's happening. I'm just like, I need my space, because he was like growing a lot at his job, and he was like feeling like empowered to a certain extent, where he was like, I can provide, you don't need to work. And I was like, no, like I want to be my person, like I want to work and I want to do my thing. Even though you can like pay for whatever, like I don't need that. And he wanted to like again control me and do all this shit, and I was like, no, it's not gonna happen.
Did you get the vibe that the reason he wanted to control you was he was like scared of you meeting another guy and cheating, or was it just more so like he felt like he's losing you from the standpoint of like you were having all this fun, he doesn't feel comfortable because he's not social, so he's gonna go to a party, feel awkward?
It was both.
Okay.
It was both. He was afraid of like losing me for another someone, and he was afraid of losing control over me in a sense of like me being able to like be my own person. You know, like it was almost like I was escaping the cage. You know, so that's when I was like, it's time to end.
And how long would you say about when you started kind of having these disagreements until like you ended it?
It was like 6 months or so.
Okay. So the reason I ask is I see both sides, right? I completely understand that it sounds like you kind of outgrew the relationship in a way where maybe at first you guys are on the same boat, you're going the same direction, and at some point you say, hey, I want this other side to my life. I want to be able to be social. I want to have a friend group and a social life and all these things. And he's not quite at that stage of his life yet, right?
And nowadays, like he sees that.
Oh, okay. But can you also understand now why I have commitment concerns? Because if I'm in his shoes and he's like, I never cheated, right? I didn't fuck around. I never did anything that's crossing the line, right? Why can't we work through this relationship? Where that would concern me. If I'm dating a girl, I'm like, you know, like, oh, everything's going great. And all of a sudden, yeah, like, I think we should see other people after, 8 years. That would concern me.
But like, why you're saying like we see, like I'm saying that we see, we should
you're
see
saying
other people.
Because you broke up with him at some point.
But I never said that like we should see other
Okay,
people.
yeah, I guess that's a phrase that people use for breaking up. But yeah, I see what you're saying. But I guess my point is like,
Because like at first what I told him is that we should like take some time apart, and I was like gonna move in with my parents. We should take some time apart and figure things out and whatever, and that's where like things started like going really bad, because he was like, okay, you just want to like fuck other people, blah blah blah, and I was like, okay,
you're like, it's not even like that.
this is like going really bad. We're just like destroying everything beautiful we built like to this point. And he started like gaslighting me like a lot. And then I was like, I am not gonna take this right now, because also like I've been dealing with like mental issues like through my entire life, and I was like on a really good point of my life at that stage. And then I was like, when you have to like take the what is it called, when you're on the airplane and they put the
oxygen
mask on yourself first
to
save your life.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna do that.
I see.
I was like, I have to like take care of myself first. And then that was like very selfish of me at that point, but I was like, I'm not gonna let him do that to me right now, because I've been in the hospital before.
I see.
For trying to like take my life, which I was very grateful to have him on my side at that point. But I was like, I cannot go to that place again.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily selfish. I think at the end of the day, everybody has to look out for yourself first,
Because I even told him, I looked him in the eyes and I was like, you're asking me to do something for you that I cannot do it right now. I was like, I can't, I'm sorry. He was asking me for help, for like some type of help that I couldn't do it.
The other thing that happens a lot that I notice is a lot of people, when they start dating very young, when you're a girl and you're young, right? You kind of just know like your high school friends, maybe a few people here and there, but you kind of have this like small bubble that you're kind of isolated in. And so a lot of times girls will date a guy there, fall in love, first time I've been in love, right? But then as like you go into your more adult years, and then all of a sudden you have access to all these other things, different social circles, different people, different friends. Oh, now I'm getting invited to parties. Now I'm networking and all these things. And all of a sudden girls have these opportunities where a lot of times the guy won't, unless he's like, if he's like working really hard and really networking and applying himself and making money and all this stuff, maybe. But a lot of guys don't. They just kind of, get a job, and maybe it's a decent job or a good job or whatever. But then the girls feel this sense that they can't even describe it, but it just feels like they're outgrowing the guy. And I hear girls say this all the time. Oh, I feel like I'm outgrowing him, or I want someone more on my level, or I want someone who's kind of at the same place in life as me. And I think that's what it is you're seeing yourself have these other opportunities, and he's not quite there yet, or at least he wasn't quite there yet at the time.
No, that's the funny thing. Like he professionally, he was growing a lot. He was on a like making a lot of money. He was like on a really good company. We were having like great opportunities, like traveling a lot, going to a lot of events because of the company, like doing amazing things, like. But I feel like what you're saying is I was outgrowing more socially than him.
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah. Just because of my personality. Because he was not willing to allow himself to grow more, He didn't want to. And even though I would tell him like, hey, you need your group of friends. You need to have your time with the guys. Go out. Go drink some beer. Go do something stupid. Go like, I don't know, Like sometimes I just want some time with my girlfriends. Like, I don't know.
It's ironic to me because I think...
Because I would tell him to go do that. Yeah. I was like, go to the strip club. Go like throw some money away. I don't know. Like I would trust him like to that level, I know that if he went to the strip club with his friends, I know he wouldn't do anything. Just go see some like girls with the tits out, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I know that at the end of the day, you're going to come home.
Loosen up, bro.
Yes,
loosen
I was like,
up.
I know you're going to come home. You're going to fuck me, not them, Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But, like, he wouldn't. He was just, like, so, like... So that's what he was, like, missing,
I do think it's funny because, like, a lot of girls... they would say the opposite. They're like, oh, my guy goes out with his guy friends. I don't trust him. I don't know what he's doing.
No.
But I think the reality is if a guy doesn't have that group of close guy friends, in a way it's kind of unattractive because it's like, why don't you have like your wolf pack? Why don't you have like your team, like your fucking, your boys, Like where are the boys at?
Exactly. I feel like what initially attracted me to him the most was like his confidence, and throughout the relationship he lost that confidence. It kind of
died.
Yeah, so I was like what happened, and I feel like throughout the relationship I built up like my confidence to a point where like he got scared. And like nowadays, like a lot of the guys that I see, they get scared with my confidence. I know I'm not like the prettiest, the hottest, or like the smartest, but like
I think they get scared because of your obvious and glaring red flags.
I'm like, bro,
get scared. They see the Virgo energy and they're just like,
yes,
oh, man.
I'm like,
you turn and you run. Get the fuck out of there.
I can get like a guy scared when they get in the room with me. Yes. Like, bro, like you will find like more pretty girls or like hotter girls.
But you're scarier. I like how you're saying that like as a badge of honor. You're like, yeah, there's hot girls, but I'm scary. Come find me on Halloween, bitch.
It's like, that's something. Confidence is the most attractive characteristic that someone can wear, like.
In guys, you're saying.
And girls.
I hate to tell you this. It's not true.
Why?
Confidence is attractive, but the reality is guys are most attracted to feminine energy. And you can be confident and feminine, but the femininity is what attracts somebody to you. The confidence is what makes people respect you. There's a difference. Like, guys are attracted to a girl who's very sweet and kind and all these traits. Confidence makes them potentially respect you, but it won't make you more attractive. Also, guys are mainly looks-based in terms of pure attraction, where girls are more so confidence, charisma, and all these other things. But it is what it is.
I have my doubts.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
going to tell you the only reason you think that is because you are attractive. Trust me, I hate to tell you this. If you're an ugly girl, I don't give a fuck how confident you are, Gabi. Ain't no dudes talking to you. Go gain 300 pounds and then talk to me how confidence is what guys look for in a girl. We'll see how you do.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, you are kind of confusing. Do you typically take more of the dominant role or the more submissive role in relationships? Because you have this like
I love
energy, but then you have this other side that's like very confusing.
I love that. I love that you just said that. I'm very confusing. I love to confuse people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course you do. Red flag.
I love that.
The flag is red.
I love that. A lot of people say that. That's what makes life fun.
I mean, I agree.
Exactly.
Toxic relationships are the most fun.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like you'd be a roller coaster of
I
emotion.
am a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. You know what's funny? If you went to tell me your age, I would put you at more like 20 with a fake ID.
Thank you.
Like, I'm like, do I talk about investing or like doing Molly at Disneyland?
Everybody tells me, like, there's not even one person when they ask me my age, I'm like, how old do you think I am? They're like 21, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm like almost 30. It's the hair, it's the Spice Girls.
It's the genetics too.
No, it's the Spice Girls hair.
Maybe that's it. What's the oldest and youngest you've dated? In relation to your age, or not necessarily relationship.
Okay,
but
so
like,
that's a funny thing because I'm always going to the young guys. I'm like, I have to stop this. I have to stop this. Lately, I'm like going for the 20s.
Really?
Early 20s.
That surprises me about you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, disaster, right? I'm a disaster. Oldest 35.
Interesting. The reason it's interesting, so I worked in the modeling industry at a company for about a decade, and we had this thing called hot guy phase, where when new models would come into the agency, right, 18, 19, 20 very beautiful girls, they'd always be dating some young hot guy. And these guys were like, they looked exactly the same. Like, they have the TikTok hair, they have the dangly earrings, six-pack. They're like clones of each other. Like, you can't tell them apart. But the most beautiful girls, when they were 21, 22, 23, they'd always be dating some like normal-looking dude. Like, maybe dad bod, usually older. Like if he put like a brown shirt on and like dropped off your UPS package, you'd be like, okay, yeah, makes sense, right? But these guys were always extremely confident or charismatic or successful, ambitious, established, and usually older. And it's like most girls go through like a young hot guy phase, and then they like graduate to more of like, they look for more establishment, a little more maturity, intelligence, things like that.
I feel like I go to the problematic guys.
I think you're still in hot guy phase.
Yeah, the young guys, problematic ones that I'm trying to fix them.
You're a fixer.
Yeah, I'm trying to like babysit the guys, like.
This is what I don't understand about girls who try to fix guys. Have you ever heard of this thing called HelloFresh? Mm-hmm. It's like meal delivery, right?
Yeah.
So one time I was like, okay, I'm sick of fucking cooking and shit. I'm just going to get it. I got the 20 meal package because they give you a discount if you get 20. So I had 20 meals and I opened the first one and I was so disappointed because it's just ingredients and then you have to cook them. I'm like, wait, I thought this was meal delivery. You do the work. I'm paying for you to cook the meal. No, I got to do the work.
Stupid, yeah.
And so I don't understand when girls like have guys that they're trying to like fix them. Like, there's already guys that are done.
I know.
They're already finished. Yeah. You don't have to fix nothing. You can see medium rare steak, fucking mashed potatoes. It's like perfect already. You don't have to like, oh, I hope this turns out well. We'll see what happens.
I feel like I'm just trying to like cook something. Yeah. I'm a disaster.
But maybe because you were in such a long relationship, now you got to go through hot guy phase at a later age because you never had your hot guy phase.
No, I did. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
oh yes, I did.
Okay, so you're
but I'm back to it.
Perpetually stuck in hot guy phase. You're just gonna be a fuckboy forever.
Oh my gosh, no. I have to. I'm like, I have to grow up eventually.
Well, what do you look for in a guy personality wise? What's your type?
Someone fun that will make me laugh, that I can have like smart conversations, that will like take care of me.
I don't know if I believe you.
Well, that's like what I
because all these things are not like the young guys that
I know, right? I mean, that's
but that's
what, like,
ideally what you want.
Yeah, ideally. But that will help me like grow emotionally, like intellectually, like that will like respect me.
It's interesting because you come off, despite all of your glaring red flags, as like you are a little bit more mature and more intelligent than a lot of girls I meet in LA. You seem to have a understanding of relationships and a self-awareness kind of thing. Where like even right now you're like, oh yeah, the young hot guys, I kind of know they're bad for me. I kind of know why I do it, but I do it anyway kind of thing. So you have these standards for guys that you're looking for, right? Which is pretty, I would say, high standards compared to just, oh, I want a guy with status and clout and money, right? So what do you bring to the table to kind of match the guy that you want in life?
I feel like because I've been to such a long relationship, I know what it is to be a partner and help someone grow. 'Cause when I was with my ex, I gave up a lot of things to help him achieve his dreams and goals. And he also did that for me. Like I said earlier, we were both able to accomplish like so much in such a young age, and we learned and discovered like so many things together. Not only like material wise, but like emotionally wise, you know what I mean? I feel like I feel privileged for having like the chance to get married in such a young age, because I got to experience things that other people didn't, you know, and through to be able to go through happy and sad moments and overcome pains that other people didn't.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So in relationships, I guess you never really answered this. Do you take more of the dominant role or do you take more of the submissive role? Or is it a weird mix?
At the beginning, I used to take more of the dominant role. At the end, I feel like I ended up like taking more of the submissive role.
Because you come across to me as someone who's naturally very feminine. But it almost feels like you're naturally very feminine, but you were kind of thrust into the dominant role because of maybe your ex or maybe the guys that you date. And I know a lot of guys nowadays are kind of pussies. I'm not saying your ex, I don't know your ex, but a lot of guys are very... And the problem is society teaches all girls, you want to be like Beyonce and TikTok videos, female empowerment. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, but are you naturally that way? Because a lot of girls aren't. A lot of girls would be happier like having their man make decisions and be a leader, and they'd be more attracted to a guy like that. And then some girls, not so much.
No, I grew up like with... Okay, so it's a weird mix because my mom is very like dominant, but at the same time my dad is like this like strong, like very masculine figure, very like dominant as well. But I've always been like very... have always had like an active voice in my house, in my relationship. Never took like shit from no one. Never will. If I want something, I go after it. But I also think that the man has to have his voice, you know? So at the beginning, I was like very... everything had to be like my way. Like we would like go to the restaurants I wanted. Like we would order the food I wanted and blah, blah, blah. And then at some point I was like, okay, Fabio, like, what do you want? Like, speak, speak something, like say something, like, I want to know, like, speak, bro. Like, what do you want? Like, choose something. Like, I started like making him like be more, like have more voice in the relationship. And at some point I was like, okay, like chill. Like, you're having too much voice in this relationship.
You bumped him up and then he took
I
and ran with it.
Okay, calm down. a little less.
That's funny.
And yeah, so I feel like I helped him a little bit in that sense because he was like very like quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's why I like the younger guys, because I was like, let's go. I like to make people have voice, you know. But yeah.
So then do you typically date masculine guys, or do you typically like you're like I'm the masculine and you take more like the pretty boys, kind of shy and like...
Yeah, I go more for the shy guys.
You got for the shy guys.
Yeah, I go for the shy guys, and I help bring them out of the cage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. Because I'm like so outgoing, like so outgoing.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever dated a guy who was more dominant than you and it made you feel more like in your feminine energy? Or are you like, nah, I want to be in charge?
No, I have, and I like that.
Oh, you did like it?
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you think about chivalry?
What is that?
Open the door for you, guys.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, you love that?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I feel like that's becoming a lost thing nowadays.
Yeah.
My dad is very old school.
Yeah.
So he taught me, if you go take a girl on a date, like you're paying. None of this splitsies. Let me send you the Venmo request for the $35. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
No,
nowadays it's just like you don't see that anymore.
It's weird because to me it would feel weird if I took a girl on a date. Even if I take a girl on a trip and we go to Europe or Australia or something, even like the hotels and the plane flights, I'm like, no, I'm going to pay for it because like I'm a man. Like the fuck? Like that's what you do. Like it's just kind of like that's your responsibility.
I think here in LA, I went out with like maybe one or two guys that were like that was like, okay, I'll open the door. I'll pay for everything. And cause like usually I'm the one like paying for everything.
Really?
Cause like I mean,
you might want to switch your pronouns soon, dude.
Bro, I'm not even joking. I am not even joking. Like sometimes I'll pay for everything. Like I'm the one driving. I'm the one paying for dinner or like paying for drinks.
Where do you find these dudes? Where are you finding these fucking guys?
I mean.
Are you going to the middle school down the street?
No. Like even if like we are the same age or like they're older, like I mean, for me it feels nice, like I'm like this bitch boss, like I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I don't care. Or like they will go to my house. I'm like, no, I'm not going to anyone's house.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, Gabi, we're about out of time. I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Oh my gosh.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
What do you think about catch?
Catch steak or catch fillet?
Either one. I feel like their sushi's kind of the same.
I like it.
I think it's overrated. I do like it.
Yeah, it's overrated. Good. I mean, it's okay. I was there like last week. So.
Yeah. Favorite candy?
Favorite candy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I haven't ate candy in a little bit.
Okay.
The fish one.
Swedish fish?
Oh, Swedish fish, yes.
Really?
Yeah, I like that.
It's kind of overrated. Whatever.
Oh my gosh, everything's overrated.
Favorite first date spot or activity?
I don't remember.
No, but that you would like potentially. It doesn't have to be one you've been on. Like, do you like movie? Do you like just drinks? Hiking? Dinner?
Maybe go get like a bottle of wine and go to the beach at night.
Interesting.
Get like some like music,
Yeah.
Go to the beach, get like a bottle of wine, sit.
Yeah. Hide from the homeless people down there. Romantic shit.
Yeah. Sit with the homeless. Let's go.
Next travel destination you haven't been to but you want to go to?
The Maldives.
Ooh, interesting. All right, well, Gabi, this has been fun. Any shout outs you want to give? Where can people find you? Instagram, TikTok, anything like that?
No, just add me on Instagram, Gabi Weber.
And that's like with 3 eyes, right, or something?
Yep. And go say hello, Instagram.
All right, well, this has been fun. We'll have to do round 2 sometime.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching.